Yeah, we teased at the start of the show that we're going to be, analyzing and previewing Nigeria's chances at the World Championships. And our guest is ready to join us now, Bambo Akoni of Making of the Champs, joining us all the way from Doha, Qatar. Bambo, it's great to have you on the show.
Hi, great to be here as always. Hello, Cecilia. How you doing?
Super. Good morning.
Fantastic. And I heard it was a very long journey as well.
Yes, very, very long journey. Took me about a day to get here.
Wow.
But I'm great. I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be an interesting championship for Nigeria, a new upcoming team for first medal since Blessings in 2013. So let's
Wow.
see how.
All right, let's just dive into it straight away. Before we joined you, we listened to Kristen Coleman, and arguably the man to beat going into the 100 meters, events in Doha. No doubt about it. But the second fastest man coming into the World Championship is Nigeria's Divine Oduduru. Very similar
Yeah.
campaigns to Kristen Coleman. Coleman 2017 NCAA champion over the 100 and 200. Divine has done something similar as well. So he's been in great form as well. But since turning professional, since turning pro, he's not been able to, come close to those kind of times he ran in the collegiate season. And what could be the reason for this? And from all your experience in dealing with all these athletes, dealing with pros and student athletes.
Yeah, I mean it's really straightforward with the NCAA season ending in June and starting very early in the year with the indoors from January. These kids have been running for 6 months. They've been programmed to peak at the NCAA final, so it's really difficult for anyone to pick themselves up again and
Wow.
then peak again in August or September. So what we're seeing with Divine is not different from what has happened with a lot of other athletes. Sha'Carri Richardson, the American as well, ran 10.75. She couldn't replicate it after the NCAAs. But there are always exceptions as well. Look at Raymond Ekemo. Nobody was expecting him to go out to the African Games in Rabat and become the champion. He did it with a new personal best, running sub 10 for the first time. So Raymond, I think, is somebody that we really have to watch in Doha. I would really peg him to hopefully make the final of the 100 meters.
Wow. Interesting you mentioned Raymond. So is it safe to say Raymond is a wild card for you? And if he is, then what are your other wild cards for Nigeria in Doha?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. What's exciting about Doha, this is the first time in many a year that we've had three guys in the 100 meters who could all conceivably make the final. Obviously, we've mentioned Divine Oduduru, Raymond Ekemo, but there's also Ushorise Shaqiri, who
Right.
ran 10.02 in Rabat, coming third at the African Games. So, this is the first time in probably a couple of decades that Nigeria has two or three guys who could realistically make the final of the 100. And obviously, once you're in the final, after that, anything is possible. So that's one of the events to look out for Nigeria. But in terms of other medal hopefuls, we have to be looking at Ese Brume in the long jump, Tobi Amushon in the 100-meter hurdles, Chukwuka Enekochi in the men's shot put. And then the relay teams, 4x1, I would say men and women. So, I think those are going to be where we could possibly get medals from. As a fan, I would love to see Nigeria get 5 medals at these championships. As a realist, I think if we win 1 or 2 medals, I think it would be a success. After having only won 2 medals in the last couple of decades through Blessing in 2013.
Yeah. Interestingly, you just mentioned Blessing Okagbare. I mean, from the names you mentioned, I mean, she wasn't part of it. She was just mentioned in the past. I mean, you're thinking no chance for her at all?
No, I'm not thinking no chance for her. But I think, Blessing is at the stage of her career where it's nice to kind of just take the pressure off her a little bit and focus on the upcoming athletes. I mean, Blessing has run 22.05 or so this season in the 200 meters, 11.0 in the 100. So she's going to be in the mix in both of those events. Can she be in the final? Of course, she can be in the final in both. Will she get a medal? We don't know. Let's see what Blessing has in store for us in Doha. But one thing is for sure, Blessing is like the leader of this Nigeria team. She's been doing it for 10 years. And even if she's not able to get a medal in the sprints, I'm sure in the relay she's also going to come around the team and really inspire them to do something great.
Yeah, this year we're having a 25 athletes. I mean, this is the highest in a long while. I can't remember the last time we actually have up to 25 athletes, making the qualifications for the World Championships. Is this the best we can really get from Nigeria, the athletes that we are in Doha?
Well, I think this is the best we can get for now. I mean, this is a new young team. There's a lot of younger athletes coming up. I'm happy to say that making of champions, we have two athletes on the team: Joy Gabriel in the 4x1 and Blessing Olade in the 4x4. And so a lot of these athletes are in the team for their second year, like Joy, or in the team for the first time, like Blessing Olade. And it's a stepping stone. This is the first time at this level. Now they're going to go from here to try to make the Olympic team in a year's time. And so this is the 25 we have for now is Nigeria's best for now. But I think in years to come at the Olympics and beyond, there's still a host of other athletes who are waiting to come through into the team. People like Emmanuel Ojeli, people like Jerry Jakpa. So I think, let's see what Doha has in store for us. And hopefully Nigeria will have one or two medals to celebrate.
Okay, Bambo, just kindly stay put there. We're going to go for a break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion on Nigeria's chances at the World Athletics Championships in Doha, Qatar. Let's talk about since you mentioned young athletes representing Nigeria this time around. Let's talk about the particular girl, Favour Ofili. And I mean, our progression in the last year has been quite remarkable. But going to the Worlds, I mean, it's a massive stage. She's never been here before. Is it safe to say she's just going for experience, or are you expecting perhaps something groundbreaking from her?
Yeah, I mean, Philly is probably the most exciting young talent coming out of Nigeria at the moment. You'd have to add Unse Maobong, the 400-meter sports festival champion, to that list of the exciting talents coming out of Nigeria right now. And Favor's progression has been unprecedented. She's been in the last year, I think she's been to the African Games in Algeria. She's been to the Youth Olympics in Argentina. And she's swiftly moved from that youth level right up until the senior level, running 51.6 at the national championships to qualify for the individual 400 in Doha. So that's I would say she ran that 51.6 at the African Games in Rabat, 51, I believe, in Kaduna. So it's incredible what she's achieved in just 1 or 2 years. University of Port Harcourt athlete. She's going for experience. 51.6. I mean, if she can make it to the semis, that would be a fantastic performance. But it's only a matter of time. This girl is going to get to 50, and if she's managed well, definitely Nigeria could have. We could have our first 49-second runner in a couple of decades. Since the days of Falila Tugunkoya. Fatima Yusuf, that special Atlanta 96 silver medal winning 4x4 team. She's a really exciting talent. Really looking forward to seeing how she handles the pressure in Doha.
All right, so good one. We're wishing Favour Ofili all the best. Let's talk about sports that are not too, you'd say, the field sports now. Let me put it that way. I'm talking about shot put and discus. And you mentioned Chukwuebuka already. Was saying he's had a fantastic season. Let's talk about the ladies. For shot put, there's Ola Toye Oyeshade. And for discus, there's Onye Kwere Chioma. I mean, talk to us about those two ladies.
So, these ladies are part of our growing contingent from the U.S., born and bred in the U.S., gone through the NCAAs. Chioma Nyekore, she's been on the team for a couple of years, been to a couple of, I think, African championships now, won medals at each one. And now we have Shade Olate also coming into the team. Her first appearance for Nigeria was in Rabat in the shot put. And it's fantastic to see that pipeline also coming through for Nigeria. I think it might be a tall order for either of them to get medals in Doha, but you have to be in it to win it. Let's see how they do. First World Championships, see how they perform, and then that can be a stepping stone for the Olympics next year.
Okay, absolutely. And talking about those field events and what we should expect from them. Now, you mentioned the relay that Favour Philly might just bet the one to help Nigeria in the 4x400 meters. We also have the men, qualifying for 4x100 meters, and also the women 4x100 meters. What are our chances in these races?
Yeah, I think I would put our chances in the 4x1 men and women as higher to get to be in the medal mix. For all three teams, they must make the finals in the first place. It's not a foregone conclusion. With the men, all that favorites, Rabat, with three guys on the team, Shekiri, and they still would finish second to Ghana and had an anxious wait before being confirmed for Doha. So if they can get the baton changes right, hopefully they've been practicing that. Really, anything is possible from that 4x1 team, and I hope they can really stay together and be a serious medal contender for the Olympics next year. For the 4x1 women, that team has been together for some time now. We have, Joy Udo Gabriel, Leslie Okagbare, Tobi Amusho, and Rosemary Chukuma. They combined for the Commonwealth bronze medal last year in Australia. They're part of the pool for the relays. And then you have Esebrume to the mix, add her to the mix. She ran 11.4 this year. So, you've got to look at them and say, look, okay, these girls can get to the final. And if they can get it right in the final, anything is possible. For the 4x4 girls, it's a mix of experience and youth. So we have Favour Philly on that team, Blessing Oladoye, but you also have the long-time, champion Nigerian 400 meters, which is Patience Okon-George. So they're really going to be combining the experience and the youth. Can they get to the medal contention? I'm not sure. They ran 3:30 in Rabat. They have to really get into like 3:26, 3:25, possibly to even get into the final. So let's see what happens there. But whatever happens, it's fantastic that they even qualified, and those girls, especially the younger girls, are going there to experience the World Championship for the first time.
Okay, there's this, story that I read about, Qatar actually having a computerized system that will actually prepare athletes' bodies for them to adjust to different temperatures because it's going to be in an air-conditioned stadium. How will this affect the athletes in any way?
Well, let's see how it goes. I mean, I arrived in Doha last night. The airport was well air-conditioned, but once you walk out into the night, you're hit with 35-degree weather. So it's going to be really interesting. I see these World Championships as a test run for the World Cup in 3 years in the football. How is it going to be? I don't know yet. From this interview, I'm going to go to the stadium, see what it's like. It's going to be really interesting to see how it goes.
Before we let you go, I'm going back to Divine Odudiri now. We talked about him earlier as regards the 100 meters, but the 200 meters, a lot of watchers and analysts actually believe that might be his favorite race, and he might even have a better chance of medaling in that particular event. But there is the Maverick Noah Lyles in that particular event as well. So how would you rate Divine going head-to-head against Noah Lyles?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something we should have mentioned earlier, that Divine's better chance for a medal at the moment is most likely going to be in the 200. It's always been a stronger event.
Right.
He's come of age in the 100 as well. But I think we should look to Rabat last month for an indication of what could happen now. In Rabat, Divine opted to only run the 200, even though he could have done both. I think it was a good choice given the long season he's had. And I believe he finished second in Rabat. So, a lot of people were hoping for the win, but he finished second, ran 20.5. I think hopefully he's put in some work since then and he can go faster. He'll need to be in 20-0 shape, 21 shape at the worst, to really be in the mix for the medals. I expect him to be in the final. Noah Lyles is the clear favorite, but I think silver and bronze is open. Ramil Guliev is also there. He's the defending world champion, and he will be in the mix again for medals. So let's see. I mean, if Divine can make the bronze, I think it would be a good end to his season.
Bamba. One more before we let you go. Justin Gatlin to defend his title, yes or no?
I will go with no, but just yeah.
Very much.
No funny.
Thank you very much for your time, Bamba. We appreciate it. Wish you all the best in Doha, Qatar.